Ambassador John McDonald, thank you for this interview. For 40 years, you worked as a diplomat at the U.S. Department of State, negotiating, mediating, and doing the work you call Track 1 diplomacy, government to government. You worked in Berlin, Frankfurt, Bonn, Paris, Ankara, Tehran, Karachi, Cairo, and Washington, D.C. You were appointed ambassador twice by President Jimmy Carter and twice by President Ronald Reagan to represent the United States at various UN World Conferences. In the 1980s, you began writing about Track 2 diplomacy, people to people, non-governmental. By the time you retired from the Foreign Service in 1987, you had 5 tracks in diplomacy. In late 1988, you became president of the Iowa Peace Institute, and in 1992, back here in Washington, D.C., you started the Institute for Multi-Track Diplomacy. You've been at it for 15 years. You've written 8 books and many, many articles. There are now 9 tracks of diplomacy, and your institute has projects in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Ambassador McDonald, tell us more about peacebuilding and multi-track diplomacy.
How much time do I have?
Take as long as
Because
you're willing to give.
I can talk for hours about that question. Well, the concept of Track 1 and Track 2 is rather interesting, because for all those years I was focused on Track 1, which is government to government, which is not very risk-taking, not very imaginative, always under instructions. And so you had a fairly straight line that you had to follow. In 1985, I wrote the first book on Track 2 diplomacy. It's non-government to non-government. It's people to people. It's small group to small group. And it is risk-taking. It is innovative. It's challenging. It does things that governments are afraid to do, don't want to do, or don't want to support. All in the field of peace building and peacemaking. So our 9-track approach, our multi-track diplomacy, is what I call a systems approach to peace. It means that all of these tracks, which I'll talk about in a moment, have to work together. And that no one track, including government, can never by itself solve a peace problem or create a peace that will last. That's the fundamental premise of what I'm about. You need collaboration among peoples to bring about a peace that will actually last. So Track 3 is the role of business, a major factor. When they have the money, they have the skills, they have the vision, they can bring about change. But they're a hard group to sell. Track 4 is individual people exchanges, people coming from one culture to this culture, for example, learning new skills and going back and carrying out those skills in their own country. Track 5 is what we do as a small institute, a small non-governmental organization, not-for-profit, here in Rosslyn, Virginia. It's education, training, a little research. Track 6 is peace activism. It's people power. It's the power of people collectively to change systems non-violently. Track 7 is religion. Wherever we go, we work with people of different religions. Track 8 is money. I should tell you, we're always broke. That's the way the field works. It's hard to raise money for peace these days in the United States. We don't charge for our services overseas. So we have to raise money to go overseas and do the work that we do. And all of our work basically is internationally overseas. Track 9 is the center circle in our logo, which is communication, which is what we're doing right now. That's the heart of this whole concept, is communication, the ability of people to talk to each other. And that's a skill that many people still do not have to this day. One of my fundamental beliefs is that you have to, if you want to solve a conflict at any level of society, with your spouse, or your kids, or family, the city council, nationally, internationally, the first step is to sit down face to face, like we're doing, and talk about it. If you can't do that, you'll never solve the problem. So that's where I'm coming from.